So the other day I saw a clip where some guy was live streaming. Some guy was live streaming and he was doing this religious discourse or like a discussion conversation where he would have people call in or be in his YouTube live, and then he would accept them in and basically ask if they had anything to say to him because he's atheist. In other words, he would call them in and have a discussion based on, I don't know, a question of well, if this is true, why, how come God doesn't exist if this happens, right? And I just noticed a few things about the live that just made me feel really, regretful for the state of religious discourse just entirely. Made me really upset and sad to see that. I mean, this guy had like a prop on his head that was basically two devil horns, and by no means am I really like all that religious. It's just in my eyes, it's disrespectful to go up there and mock people like that simply because you don't like them or you don't like that they have a certain trait about them, which you could tell from the characteristics that this guy held. He was calling people names when they were calling in, really just you know talking about, he was asking them if they were Christians, which is a normal question obviously, but then if they said something to him that even slightly went against what he believed, which is that there is no God, he would just insult them. He was calling them dipshit and all these other names. And I was watching the stream and I really wanted to hear what these people had to say, the callers, and then what he was going to respond. I actually wanted to hear, you know, what they were going to say, like if they had some real points to make, and then it really just mostly devolved into name calling. And I think that's how most discourse eventually turns into with regards to religion and other things like politics, but that's separate. It just makes me sad because don't you guys want to have productive discussions? You have two sides where one is basically, this guy believes that God is real. This guy's a moron. This guy believes that there's a magic fairy entity in the sky that created everything. Can you believe this guy? And then you have the other side, which is, this guy believes that the universe came from an explosion. This guy's an idiot. Two opinions can exist at once. There's no proof for anything. Everything is a theory. This is coming from somebody who's a theist, but non religious. So I don't really fall into any major religious category, but I believe that there's something. I haven't figured it out yet. So I'm coming from a side of understanding of both sides. But what's the point of calling the other side an idiot? Don't you want to figure out the truth? If you wanted to figure out the truth, you would take people's opinions in, analyze them, have a discussion with the person so that you can try to see, oh, you know what, actually, maybe I do agree with that point. How else are you going to find what you believe in if you don't like actually talk with people? There's a big problem with religious discourse. Like seriously, you have people that are trying to convert you constantly, like these Christians that just use fear mongering. I get it. I've seen all of it. Like I like talking to the atheists. I understand. I've seen all of it. I've seen how religious people really don't say good reasons to be religious. Like they use negative emotions. It makes no sense. they tell you you're gonna, go to hell if you don't repent to Jesus. I understand how that seems like, what are you talking about? I understand how it seems that way. But you guys are really like no better sometimes. Like, Jesus. It's ironic I said that. Like, you guys gotta calm down sometimes. There's no reason to wear devil horns and mock a Christian like that just because they believe in God, just because they believe in Jesus. Doesn't make sense. A lot of you, just because you don't believe Jesus was the Son or God or whatever, even if you believe he's fictitious, that he wasn't a man. I believe he was a prophet. But even if you believed he wasn't even a man, he was just fiction. You guys have a lot to learn from him. You can still be more like him, right? You don't have to believe he's the son to understand he had good traits, right? Like, why else do we have stories in fiction all the time and learn from them all the time? You don't need to be a genius to figure this stuff out. Just because you're an atheist doesn't mean you have to be like uptight all the time. And we have Christians on the other side talking to the Christians. Guys, you could talk to people normally and not talk about fear all the time and talk about hell and make people feel awkward. You can just ask people what they believe happened and ask them if they ever thought if there was a spiritual force governing the universe, right? Or that created the universe. Like, how do you believe things came to be? Don't you think that's a more open question to start a religious discussion with than, why don't you believe in Jesus? Do you know you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in Jesus? Does that really feel like welcoming to you? Both of these sides, like, I feel like these things are really obvious to see, and then I watch them happen on both sides, and I'm like, guys, do you even fucking listen to yourselves? You guys can just have normal conversations. You don't have to be dicks to each other just because you believe in separate things. I have many friends who are atheists. I don't treat them like shit when I was a Christian. I think I asked them, like, what do you believe in? As the first question. And some of them said atheist and some of them said Buddhist, right? And it took me a while to eventually work up to that question, why didn't you believe in Jesus? This was when I was a Christian. And then you can have like a respectful conversation. I always try to have respectful conversations and never devolve to name calling, because even if I wasn't Christian, that's just not like it's just basic respect. Have some respect for the other human beings you're sharing this planet with. Just because they're not your brothers and sisters under the church, have some goddamn respect. And some Christians have this superiority complex where they believe just because they believe in Jesus that they're going to be saved and everybody else is going to be condemned, and that it can make them talk pompously. Yeah, you guys are egotistical. You need to you need to bring yourself back to earth a little bit. You're not in heaven yet, right? You're still as fallible as the rest of us. Makes me feel so weird sometimes, feeling like I'm the only person sitting in a neutral position. You guys don't have to treat each other like this. It amazes me how confidently people talk about theories. It's not proven yet. What are you talking about? Talking about it like it's the only truth to ever exist. Just because humans are psychologically seek comfort in things, right? And they just because cavemen drew star patterns on the side of the cave walls doesn't mean that there can't be a god, right? Just because we seek comfort naturally and people make up fictitious tales doesn't mean that God is fiction 100%. I guess it could be, right? It could be. I'm not I'm not closing that possibility off. It definitely could be, but you don't know that yet, and neither do I. How can you talk about something so confidently? And to the people who are religious, who believe that their religion is like set in stone, I get that you can have faith, but when you try to convert other people, like, is it okay to say don't talk about it as if it's a truth? I get that you can believe something, but that doesn't make it a fact. Just because you believe something really strongly, will any Christian ever admit, "Hey, there's a possibility I could be wrong about all of this"? Now there are probably some that can admit that, but I haven't seen many who have that attitude with it. And that's probably why a lot of people shy away from you, is because you guys have an ego about you and you make people want to tear their hair out. Yeah, it's pretty true. But the truth is, when you act like that on either side, both of you are insufferable to be around. Nobody's going to want to be around you when you have a religious discussion because you offer nothing productive. You're not getting anywhere by calling each other names. Like, pose the question to each other: what do you believe in and why? Let's have a discussion about it. Let me see if what the point you make to me actually makes me want to believe your side or not. Instead of just coming in with like, no, 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 you're wrong. You're just wrong. What is this argument? No, there can't be a God because Neil deGrasse Tyson said this. No, the universe can't have come from gases because not something can't come from nothing. There's theories for both sides. Come on, guys, wake up a little bit. Like, have a little respect for your fellow humans, even if you're not religious. And for the people who are religious, if you believe these guys are your brothers and sisters, yeah, treat them with a little bit more respect. Isn't that what Christianity is all about? What most religions are all about? Most religious texts, the Quran, the Torah, the Bible, most religious texts, all the sutras, right? They'll tell you respect people because you share the earth with them. Like, it's not a complicated topic. And it's certainly not a spiritual topic either. Or it can be, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a societal thing. Like, just treat your fellow humans with respect. Golly. Some of you guys need to get a grip.